What's going on, everyone? Dark Side Hill. Dark Side Hill?
Welcome to Dark Side Hill.
Welcome to the Dark Side.
We're at the top of the hill.
Wow, that's the first time I've ever did that botch.
You're rolling down the hill in a barrel.
I forgot my name. DSP here, and with me as always is John Rambo.
You got my name correct, so that's the important part.
All right. Welcome to the post-WrestleMania 29 edition of Smark, guys. Today is Friday, April 12th, 2013. We're doing it a little bit earlier this week because we got some stuff going on this weekend. And we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, coming off of our huge WrestleMania experience this past weekend.
I'm tired, man.
I am. You know what? I've been kind of beat all week. You know,
got a lot of wrestling,
a lot of travel, a lot of kind of moving around, and you get tired out. So this week's been a kind of a recuperation week, and getting back into the swing of things. So what we're going to talk about is not so much our experience at WrestleMania, because I've already done a video series about that, and you know that's kind of apart from the actual wrestling, and that's what we're going to focus on at Smart Guys. Is what was the card? What
Did you tell
were
the
the
story
results?
about Access when we were trying to go to the bottom level, and then I was like, "Oh, you go this way." I started walking towards an area, and the lady's like, "Oh, you're here to see Kurt Hawkins."
Oh no, that's funny. Yeah,
it's like, we're trying to go to the bottom level.
Right.
We're trying to figure out how to get down there at Access. So I'm like, there's like an opening, and I go into it, and the lady's like, "Oh, you're here to see Kurt Hawkins." I was like, "No, definitely not."
No.
She's like, "You sure going to be Kurt Hawkins?"
Sure, you want to see him, right?
I was like, "No." Like, how the hell do we get down there? She's like, "You got to go this way." And I was like, "Okay," we ran away.
No, please, not Kurt Hawkins. Anyone but him.
She was like so happy someone came.
Right. She's like,
"Oh,
you want to see him?"
Yeah.
Oh. All right, so we're gonna go through the WrestleMania card, match by match, give our opinions. Then we're gonna talk about Raw, which was quite a raucous Raw.
She's talking about the Ryback kid with the stupid.
I did.
Okay,
I did
yeah.
talk about that idiot with his giant fucking his tablet-sized phone.
That was fun though, because everyone was just
being an asshole.
Everyone was just going off on him. You know?
They call him Ryhat. That was funny. Hey, Ryhat, sit the hell down.
And he wasn't even filming the match. He was filming
the Titantron.
Yeah,
what an idiot.
He was standing on his chair.
Complete idiot.
It was funny stuff.
Alright, so Raw, and then we're going to talk about Impact as well. Impact actually had an interesting show this week because they were trying to compete, obviously, with WWE and their biggest week of the year. So, alright, John, so let's talk about WrestleMania card. Alright, so what opens the show?
WrestleMania.
Oh, don't start singing. Pump it up, pump it up. That's the official WrestleMania theme song. Everyone should look it up.
From 1993.
Go look it up right now.
That's 2013.
Okay, so I can't focus. So they open up with the 6-man tag match of the Shield, and it was cool because the Shield came out right next to us when we were sitting there, so that was awesome. And I really don't have a lot to say about this match. I felt going into the match that the Shield needed to win. We actually had been talking about maybe they would make them lose because this is WrestleMania. Faces always go over.
Well, we predicted they would win.
But we did because we said that Big Show would probably somehow turn. But actually, it didn't really happen that way. It was...
Well, people said Randy Orton was going to turn heel.
Right.
Some people said they wouldn't get along, blah, blah, blah. It's pretty much what happened. He did turn heel, but
right.
What we got was a kind of a storyline that seems like no one really cares about now.
Yeah.
And as soon as the Shield, the thing happened, was that Randy Orton went to... He tagged himself.
Well, it was... Big Show had been getting beat up the whole match. He got the hot tag to Sheamus, but then Sheamus had been getting, like, destroyed. He tagged in Orton. And then it was supposed to be...
Big Show had his hand out, but he didn't tag...
Right. Right. It was basically Big Show he wanted the hot tag. He was ready. But they didn't tag him. Who was it? Orton tagged himself in, right? And so Big Show's pissed because he's like... He's thinking in his head, I could have won this match. Orton immediately gets, like, speared. 1, 2, 3.
Big Show doesn't help him.
Match is over. Big Show doesn't help.
As soon as it happened, I was like, oh, get ready for some terrible Orton Big Show matches for the next 4 months. That's where we're going.
Which we've seen before, right?
Great.
So that's pretty much where they're headed with this angle.
Yeah, the match was good, but I mean, it was strong. I mean, it could have been like a Raw main event, though, wasn't it? Like,
right.
I think we were hoping for. We talked about our show last week. We wanted like maybe one spot that was interesting. We thought.
Right.
Seth Rollins made a cool spot that wasn't supposed to happen, where he planted himself into the wall. I don't know if that counts. But yeah, it was good. You know,
it was a decent match. It was a good way to open the show.
It was a great way to open it. And you were like, oh wow, that's the opener. We're gonna have some good stuff. And turns out that was one of the better matches.
Yeah, that was one of the better matches of the night.
Yeah.
There was the tag team titles match. Team Hell No against Big E Langston and Dolph Ziggler.
Was that next?
Yes, it was that, and then it was the Ryback match. I think.
No, Ryback was next.
Was Ryback next?
Ryback.
All right. Well, Ryback was next. One of the most boring matches I think I've seen in quite some time. The match went exactly as we predicted. Two big guys, both winded, neither can do much with each other.
It was like, a clothesline you outside the ring, then you stall, you come back in, bear hug.
Bear hug.
Then the other guy gets clotheslined out. Oh, it was three bear hugs in the match.
Bear hug, yeah.
It was awful. It was an awful match.
It was terrible.
Here's the thing, like, the first hour of WrestleMania was all matches that are basically raw quality. Like,
right.
They're all 10-minute matches. 3 minutes for the intros, 7-minute matches.
Right.
And I can understand you have a lot of matches to get through, but maybe do less. Do less matches.
Do less matches
better
and
ones.
focus on better ones, right. I agree.
Have less matches, give them more time.
I agree.
And they're not even like really matches themselves. They're just like we said. It's like there's nothing intelligent that happens. It's just like hold, clothesline,
spot,
and then you either do your finisher or the heel cheats or something, and then that's how it goes.
So how did this end? Well, Ryback picks up Mark Henry for the shell shock, which everyone was impressed that he could pick him up. Mark Henry grabs the ropes, makes Ryback lose his balance. Henry topples on top, only gets the count.
That was surprising that Henry won, and we were cheering and everything.
We were excited.
Oh my God!
And then, of course, immediately WWE takes that thunder away. Ryback gets right back up, no sells the fact that he lost. And then he shell shocks Mark Henry.
Mark Henry goes back in the ring, and then the Ryback kid, the Ryhat, he was all upset.
Ryhat.
And we all started yelling, like, yes, kill him, kill Ryback.
Yes, destroy him.
And then Ryback just beats the crap out of, he's getting his heat back. But you can't wait like a day.
Yeah, they couldn't have done that on Raw.
They do that so much, so often, where the heel, if the heel actually gets heat in the first place, it's immediately taken away.
Taken away because
you can't wait a week. You can't wait a day. You guys.
Very.
So they'll have a match eventually where Ryback will beat Mark Henry.
Right.
So the whole thing had no point or meaning whatsoever.
Tag team titles: Team Hell No against Big E and Ziggler. Do we really even need to talk about it? Because this is again what
short.
We thought exactly would be. Team Hell No goes over. It's not a long match. Big E Langston was not very impressive. He did a couple things, but he wasn't like,
And the thing with this is the yes chant is the biggest thing. At all these live events, no matter what show it was, we're all different companies and not even WWE. The yes chant is the huge thing.
Ring of Honor,
And then Daniel Bryan's in this tag team situation. The match is about 6 minutes long. Doesn't really do much. And then of course, not his rookie partner, but Dolph Ziggler.
Right.
We're going to talk more about this later on, but Dolph Ziggler's the one that gets pinned, continuing his terrible losing streak. In a tag match. In a 6-minute tag match, he's the one that gets pinned.
Oh, you know what we forgot to talk about? The pre-show, the Intercontinental Championship.
Don't even matter. Well, we can discuss it on Raw, I guess.
Well, we'll say real quick. The Miz beat Wade Barrett by doing the figure 4 twice. Okay.
And I was really afraid because it was a 5-minute title match, and it was raining at this point.
Right.
I was
it started to rain. Right.
This is things are making a bad turn. Then it
it's a bad sign.
Then it all was okay.
It turned around.
Yeah.
Yes, the rain stopped. So.
Yeah.
So The Miz won the Intercontinental title in the pre-show of WrestleMania. You had the debut of Fandango. No, wasn't impressive.
It was again 7 minutes maybe, and 4 or 5 botches, and
yep, it was a couple botches.
And he wins
in there.
like we thought he would.
The way that the match was supposed to end was that Jericho was supposed to do a lion salt onto Fandango with reversal.
He was too close to the ropes.
So he was too close to the ropes, so Jericho went completely over him.
And then he just jumped on him, or he went for the walls again, and then he rolled him up that way.
Right, rolled him up out of nowhere, and it was a poor...
But again, we were watching, I was calling the spots, I'm like they go up to the top, and I'm like, he's going to push him down and do his stupid leg drop.
Yep.
That's what it's...
Yep. Very predictable.
Yeah.
Very predictable, very boring, It could have been an exciting match, and they really didn't get to do much with it.
I don't know what that guy's got. I don't know.
Right. We don't know yet. All right, so now our first of the major events, Jack Swagger against Alberto Del Rio for the World Heavyweight title, except that apparently they were running late already, and so they decided to cut out Jack Swagger's entire entrance. So he had
I wonder if he's going to win the title.
Yeah, exactly. There's no entrance to the ring. Now, it was funny, because off camera, he did have an entrance. We saw it. He drove up in this dune buggy kind of a thing with Zeb Coulter, and he had the American flag.
It's like a golf cart. I don't know what that was.
I don't know what it was, but it was supposed to be like a fancy entrance, and they completely cut it off the pay-per-view. So we saw it, but there was no music playing. There was no Titantron playing. He just drove out to silence.
Just came out.
We actually thought he was practicing. We didn't know what was going on.
They were like, oh, he's gonna go back up, and then go back down again.
Right. But no, they just started in the ring with no intro. Del Rio had a crazy entrance. He had like pyro. Remember all the freaking fireworks they set off for Del Rio?
Yeah.
So they have the match, and there's really not much to say. It's pretty much very similar to the matches they've had.
The match was good. The problem is the Money in the Bank. You know, and we'll talk about more about.
It's looming, right? It's looming.
The Money in the Bank looms over things.
So every time there's a World Heavyweight title
no
match,
one cared about the match.
Might cash in, right?
No one cared about the match whatsoever. But sitting there,
all we heard was we want Ziggler.
We want Ziggler, and no spot that happens. No one cares like anything about it.
Right.
Because they just expect at the end, no matter who wins, they don't really care. He's going to come out.
Right.
And then that's where the match really begins.
Right. But
that's the problem.
It didn't happen.
It didn't happen, and that was even worse because we were just like, oh.
What the hell?
I didn't pay attention to the match and nothing happened. Oh shit.
Right.
Maybe I should have watched it.
So, kind of a deflator. Del Rio wins via submission. Pretty simple, you know. Not much to say. That's it.
But at least it had some like wrestling in the match. Like,
well, I mean that's the problem. It was a good match too. Like there
Yeah.
was technically a sound match, but no one paid attention to it because they wanted Ziggler.
Like I was saying before, like nothing happens in these matches. Like stuff happened. Like he had him in the ankle lock, and then Del Rio reversed it into his move, and like that's stuff you like to see. Some kind of intelligence to the match. These other ones are just like, you know, here's my clothesline, here's my headlock, you know,
rest hold.
Okay, here's my finisher, I win, you know.
Okay. Alright, so Del Rio retains at WrestleMania. The next match was Undertaker versus CM Punk.
Yeah, and then this was great, like, it's just like, when the production meets the wrestling aspect, that's what it's, like, the most amazing thing.
Right.
The entrances were awesome. You know, the presentation of it was
For
awesome.
those who could see them, you know, because every idiot stood up on their chairs like fucking morons.
Well, that's another thing, because, like, it seems like a lot of the people there, they're excited during the entrances,
right?
And like when the guy wins,
right?
But they're in the match itself.
They're like going to sleep.
They just don't know what to do. They don't really understand what's happening, and they watch like they're watching the Titantron,
right?
And when the camera cuts to their angle, then they try to get on TV.
Right. That's all they care about.
They're more interested in trying to be.
They want to be their 15 seconds of fame rather than paying attention to the.
They're actually watching the show.
Pay-per-view. You paid hundreds of dollars to be here, and all you care about is getting on camera, not watching.
They don't care. They go,
show.
look at Ryback. He's got a lot of muscles. Okay, hooray! And then like the match starts, like I just zone out.
Pathetic.
That's how they train. They train the people like that. The wrestling doesn't matter. Then.
Right. Yeah. And you know, and a lot of people ask me why didn't I get the Undertaker's entrance, because it was impossible to film because everyone was standing on.
Because they're excited during that.
No one could see anything. You know, no one could see shit.
Yeah, I mean, the way I like to watch wrestling, I treat it like it's a sport. Like you said, you watch what they're doing. These guys are putting on an athletic display. You know, and there's a story within the match of this guy's doing this, and will that come into play later? You know, and you try to watch it. Well, these freaking people, they just don't even.
Right.
You know, they just don't care.
So, during the Undertaker's entrance, when all those hands were writhing around, were those the souls of his defeated foes? They were on the ramp. Was the giant Gonzalez out there going like this, and you know?
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
He only beat him by DQ, so. I don't
But he still beat him, so he took his soul. That's what that was. It was all the arms of his fuck. Kane was out there. He was like, woo! All right. So anyway, so the match itself.
Livy Color was played for CM Punk.
Yeah, and that was good. That was cool. That was really cool.
It sounded good too.
It did sound good. Yes, they are a good band. Yeah. The match, best match of the night by far. I don't think anyone can like even try to fucking dispute. If you're talking wrestling, like ability, you know, good planning, well thought out story, extremely good match.
Told the story. It had different aspects of the match.
Crazy reversals. I like how the story was basically CM Punk disrespects the Undertaker, so he does all his spots. You know, he's doing old school. He's doing.
But it's cool that Undertaker doesn't always just do the same things. Like he wasn't the one that got to do old school. You know, CM Punk did it instead of just doing a repeat of the same thing over and over again.
Right.
A little different spin on it.
It was good. There were multiple reversals. You had, you know, go to sleeps into tombstones.
You had a ref bump.
Ref bumps. All kinds of crazy stuff going on.
That was great.
Hit him with the urn.
That was really good.
Hit him with the urn. That was cool. So it was a good match, a very good match, and they actually gave it the time that it deserved, I felt, which was good too, because I was really afraid it was going to be another 10-minute match. I was going to get really pissed. But they gave it the time it deserved. Best match of the night. Of course, Undertaker wins, as we've been saying for months.
Yeah, and then like I go on Twitter. I was on Twitter during Mania, like during in between the little when they show those video packages that you've seen 1,000 times. I'll like pop it up and like see what people are saying, and you have people that are just so ridiculous. You know, like you have one side of it, like you know. I thought Undertaker was going to lose. How could this is? He was never going to lose. It was never going to happen.
There was no chance of him losing.
It was never a possibility. So it's like you can't. I hated the match because Undertaker won. That's what people are saying. he was never going to lose. The streak will never end. It's just how it is. You've got to take it for what it is.
Right.
Watch the match.
Enjoy the match for what it is.
They're not really fighting.
You just got to see CM Punk in his extremely high-profile WrestleMania match with the Phenom, you know, so it's kind of is the it match. People who are in that match, it's kind of like you're the made man, you know what I mean?
Well, that'll go down as the best match on WrestleMania 29.
Right.
But people are like, they're marks, basically. They act like it was a really fighting.
Oh, my God.
How could he have won?
These people.
He was never, Undertaker was always going to win. That's how it was always going to be. Listen to me. We told you a million times. Why would you think otherwise, you know?
Right. So, best match of the night. It was fun.
And you get other people going, well, the match was good, but the matches, other Undertaker matches are better, blah, blah, blah. I mean, why even get into that? Just enjoy it for what it is.
The match was good.
Watch the match, enjoy the match, and move on from there.
Alright, so the next match...
Well, just worth it. The streak isn't... It doesn't matter. Like, that's not why you watch these matches, because, will he win or lose?
Right.
He will always win.
Right.
That's nothing to do with why you watch
the match.
You watch these Undertaker matches because they're all really good.
Right.
They're all like for the last.
He wrestles once a year.
He wrestles once a year.
Be good.
He goes all out, and it's a great match. That's why it's a sell. That's why you want to watch them, not because will the streak end? Because it's not going to end.
Right.
That has nothing to do with it.
Right.
All right. Now we can move on.
Okay. Next match was Triple H and Brock Lesnar with Triple H's career on the line, no holds barred. Some pretty good spots I felt in this match, although this match is a throwback to the Attitude Era brawls that Triple H is known for. It was kind of like such a startling contrast to see the CM Punk Undertaker match and then to see this match, because it doesn't even feel like they're the same product when you really think about it. Like, this was a brawl. There wasn't a lot of technical stuff in it. It was just heavy hitting. Hit him with a chair, hit him with the stairs, throw him to the wall, throw him to the turnbuckle, throw him to the ring post.
Yeah, but these guys needed that stuff because they...
Right.
If they had a normal match, it would not have been pretty.
Oh yeah, because they're not technical masters, and also they win pretty quickly. So
they're not at this point. Neither one of them is very good.
Right.
So they need the props.
So for what it was, I actually did really enjoy
it's a
the
good
match
stuff.
because this is pretty much the best of what this kind of wrestler can do, and you have to respect it because they really worked their asses off, and you could see by the end of the match they were fucking beaten. Brock Lesnar, I don't know what happened to his nipples. Remember? It was like pink on the nipples. I was like, what the hell's going on with this match?
Triple H had stuff all over his body.
Oh yeah, Triple H had fucking phosphorescent shit all over him, and it was a pretty odd, but again, for the kind of wrestler that they are, this was a good match.
Yeah, they definitely worked hard and everything, but like, this is the second to last match on your card. So you're saying this is essentially the second best match.
Which it isn't.
I don't know if that's true.
No.
If these guys should be not even in that position. If this was lower on the card, you had some other good matches after this. That'd be cool.
Right. It's going to be mid-card.
And you go back a year ago, Brock Lesnar came back. It's been about a year.
Mm-hmm.
And when he came out, people were jumping in their seats, remember? They were jumping and oh my God, it's going to be amazing that he's back.
It was funny because this match, the crowd was dead. No one cared.
Yeah, and they said that all these MMA fans were coming to watch WWE now because of him. And
no one cared.
I wonder, a year later, I wonder if these people still feel the same way about Brock Lesnar. Like, what has he really brought to the table? I mean, 3 matches, they're okay matches. And they're all pretty much the same match. With the stairs, and the stairs always went up in the ring.
The sad part is that the best match was the first one with John Cena, and that's the one he lost. That was his best match, was blood, but they made him lose. So immediately you killed his steam.
A little bit, yeah. I think so. Yeah, I think
and now it's like, who cares about Brock Lesnar?
And also, again, this match, you knew Triple H was going to win, as we said.
Right? Yeah, he's not going to he'll never retire. He'll never be able to wrestle again. He won't be able to be the COO. Yeah,
I think people were waiting. I think in the crowd you could feel people were just waiting for Triple H was going to win. And every time he was in a position of peril, you never really went, oh my God, is he going to lose?
Right.
Everyone knew. Everyone knew all these matches, lots of matches. Everyone knew what was going to happen.
So it ends, by the way, with a pedigree onto the steel ring steps in the middle of the ring. That's how he wins. So he can still wrestle. Woohoo. And then the main event, John Cena against The Rock.
I never saw it. So
which I didn't see it either. Because we said, fuck this stupid match. We will not support this stupid program, which we've hated for the past year.
Well, for me, it was more of like, let's get out of here before the 80,000 people.
Well, that's what I mean. It's a match that we
80,000 people go to the parking lot and try to leave.
A match that we really didn't care about. We really didn't care to see. Is it worth it to fight through all the trouble that we would have had trying to get out of there?
We would have been there for at least 2 hours.
And I'm sorry. A lot of people actually gave me shit. They were like, why would you go to WrestleMania and not watch the main event?
Well, you're allowed to do what you want.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. If I don't support it, if I don't feel that should have been the main event. I don't support either of the guys who were in the main event. Like, okay, are they workers? Yes, but should they have been there? No. Should they be hogging all the glory? No. And I'm tired of it. And so, fuck it. I'm not going to watch it.
Again, it's the same thing. I saw a few people go, like, on one of your videos, someone said, well, what if something happened, you would be kicking yourself. But nothing, again, same with the Undertaker.
Right.
Undertaker was always going to win. John Cena was always going to win this.
Right.
Nothing was ever going to happen. We even talked about it, like, what could possibly happen that we want to see, that would stay. And
right.
there's no scenario that they could deliver that you'd want to be, we want to be there for that they would have done. Like, Cena was always going over. It goes back to Raw 1000, really, when, watch our Smark guys after that, what we said, as soon as Rock announced he's going to fight for the title at Royal Rumble.
That was it.
You go, okay, Punk's going to hold till then and lose.
Yep.
And then Rock and Cena again at Mania.
Yeah.
And then Cena's going to win.
100% predictable, and that's exactly to a T, that's what they did.
From, what was it, July?
Yeah.
So, and then, that's exactly what happened, and that's what always was going to happen, And a lot of people are pissed off about Cena, and they want to boo him, and then blah, blah, blah. And a lot of people, come up with these ideas, he's going to turn heel. They try to get their hopes up.
Right.
This guy's going to beat him, go over him, this and that. No, as long as John Cena's there, he will be the top guy, and he will bury everyone that's around.
Right.
That's what his position is. That's what they want him to do, and that's what he'll do as long as he's there. And instead of going crazy and showing up and booing and stuff, just don't watch it.
Seriously.
It's either accept it and watch,
either you support
or
the
don't
product
watch
or you
it.
don't. So And this is funny because this is going to lead into now we're going to talk about Raw.
We're talking about Rock because Rock got injured in that match.
One of the weirdest Raws ever because of some things that happened at WrestleMania. So
the thing with Rock is he's old, he's over muscled,
right,
and he probably shouldn't be doing this in that position.
Right,
that's why he got injured.
Right,
and that's why he's decided not to show up for Raw, and probably why they shouldn't be putting him at the top of the card anymore.
Right. They had to
they probably
rewrite Raw.
Well, they probably will again.
So what happened was, apparently, during the match, he tore a whole bunch of muscles, like his abdominal and some other muscles I've never even heard of, or aploid or some shit muscles.
That's what happens when you're in bodybuilding shape and it's not wrestling shape.
Right, and you're in the main event of WrestleMania. You have to finish the match. What's he gonna do? Not finish? So he finishes the match, but he was so fucked up that he actually flew home the next day without even telling anybody right away. Went to his doctors. They told him, "Yeah, you're screwed up. You can't wrestle because you got to film a movie in a couple weeks."
It's got Hercules.
Yeah, Hercules.
That'll be great.
So, basically, he flew the coop, and then he called WWE and said, "Listen, I'm injured. Tough shit. Do what you want. I'm not going to be there."
Oh, basically, his priority is the movie, and then I'm sure they know that.
Well, the thing is, he's contractually obligated to film the movie. He knows that. He's a businessman. He knows I have to do this.
Millions of dollars on the line, and that it's all on him.
So WWE has to completely rewrite the whole show because it was supposed to be The Rock being there, giving credit to John Cena, and then maybe even there was a rumor that maybe Brock Lesnar would attack Rock, and that would lead up to a program at the next pay-per-view. So all this is scrapped at the last minute. So what ends up happening is the show opens up.
So you got the new era leading into WrestleMania 30.
Yeah.
With terrible John Cena promo to open up.
Awful John Cena promo about how he finally overcame.
Mark Henry smells like diarrhea or whatever.
Yeah, Mark Henry comes out and challenges him basically for the title. And Booker T comes out and says, "No, Mark, if you can beat John tonight, then you'll earn it. You can't just have the title shot. You have to beat him at least first." So that's announced as the main event. But it's funny because here's what really happens. John comes out, does a bad promo, but then the crowd won't stop booing. Now this is typically what happens the night after WrestleMania. You get the hot crowd.
Well, people are still there.
Right, so all these international people are there, all these people, who are the Smarks, like us, It's not necessarily regular wrestling fans. It's a bunch of people who are huge fans of wrestling. They go to the Raw after WrestleMania. So they're huge booing John. So John, now I don't know if they wrote this for him or he decided to do it himself. He decides to tease a heel turn, which is good because that'll keep it interesting, but of course in the end he's not actually going to turn heel. So he starts basically making fun of the crowd.
But there are people that watch every week in hopes that he will turn heel for some reason.
Yeah, there are. They never give up.
They will watch every week and hate the show, but they know in the back of their mind for some reason,
much like John Cena,
he will turn heel.
They never give up.
They never give up. They never give up on the product. But they'll always watch because they know that for some reason this will happen and this will happen, even though these things will never happen.
So John Cena He's dancing in the ring. He's like, this is my celebration. He's dancing. He says, oh, I'm going to do a heel turn. And he's like, twisting his shoe around. So everyone's like, oh, he's going to be a dick for it tonight. And he was. All night he was acting like a dick. All his promos and everything.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he had to kind of,
He played to the crowd, which was a good thing.
Yeah, he kind of had to.
There was a singles match. Big E Langston defeats Daniel Bryan. Who cares?
And again, Daniel Bryan's over huge.
Right.
And then that's like, why is he in that position, right? Why is he this insane, bizarre character?
Right, goat face.
And then basically
and he gets jobbed out to Big E.
When he's probably one of the most popular people they have.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the few faces that actually got cheered.
Right.
There's only Undertaker, him, with like the only faces that got cheered in the whole show.
Yeah. I'd say.
Yeah, go lose to the rookie that sucks. With his terrible finisher, where he throws you on top of himself.
He picks you up and he puts you back down.
He takes a bump.
He picks you up and then he puts you back down.
Oh, that's okay.
Alright, Wade Barrett gets his Intercontinental rematch and he beats The Miz clean.
People say that this was better than anything on WrestleMania, this match.
It was really good.
It was bizarre because the match they had at Mania was so bad.
Right. This was a long match. It was technical, and it ends up with like The Miz. I think he was stunned. He had hit like the turnbuckle, and then he turned around, boom, hits him with the
Barrett got probably his best reaction of his career.
Bullhammer. Yeah, he was insanely hot popped. Like insane pops for him. The whole match, Barrett. So 100% the crowd was behind Barrett. Wins the title back. The crowd goes nuts.
I don't know if it's because they like him or they just hate The Miz.
Or because a lot of them were probably like European fans. Still.
Well, Sheamus got destroyed though.
That's true, which we'll talk about.
So I don't know.
All right, so the next match was the biggest news of the night. It was in a complete, making no sense whatsoever match. Alberto Del Rio against Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter handicap match.
I don't know, man.
Now let's think about this.
Well,
the night after
WrestleMania didn't
WrestleMania,
really do a lot, though.
But still, it's like the night after WrestleMania, you're having this match. Obviously, something's up. Something's fishy.
Yeah, you kind of knew it was going to go down.
So basically, Jack Swagger loses the match, but then he and Coulter beat the living shit out of Del Rio after the match. Of course, this prompts Dolph Ziggler to cash in finally his Money in the Bank, and he wins. Now, it was cool though because he didn't just let him win. It was still a match. It was still like 5 minutes where they were going back and forth. That
kind of made Ziggler even worse, though.
Of course it did. I don't think they really support Ziggler at all.
No. People were just so excited about this and like losing their minds and shit. And I'm being really negative today, but I don't really care. I'm just gonna keep it rolling. But I mean, he won the title probably under the worst possible circumstances you could come up with.
Yeah.
He wins the Money in the Bank, and people are like, okay, this is it. Here comes the push. But no, he loses for, 9 months ago?
Yeah, 100,
8 months ago, loses,
100
taps
months,
the people, loses the king multiple times, people, all these people. And then, WrestleMania, the night before this, he loses a 6-minute tag match. And then this Raw, he wins the Money in the Bank in the same way that pretty much everyone does.
Right.
So what was the idea?
But isn't this what they're going for? They're not going for a strong heel who's a good wrestler. They're going for a strong heel who's the cowardly guy who can't win a match, but he cheats to win. That's been their heel stereotype.
I saw the SmackDown results, and he's in a match with Jericho.
Really? Oh, God.
And he,
I didn't see the SmackDown results. So.
Okay. It's to say, it's pretty much, it follows what you said.
Yeah.
But
this is what he's going to be. He's going to be the heelish champion who cannot win a match if he cheats to win. And he'll hold the championship for fucking 20 months because.
No, he's going to lose. I don't see it being very long at all. I think Del Rio's going to take it.
You think he'll win it back right away?
No, maybe not right away, but I don't really see a strong run coming. But why did he win it? And why did he have it for 9 months just to do the same thing they always do, where the guy just comes out and then?
I don't think they wanted him to have it before WrestleMania. That's all it was.
But what's the idea?
They had an idea. They knew what they wanted for WrestleMania. They didn't want him. They want him to be like the interim guy, So he's now the interim guy until they have another program to work.
It seems like Del Rio's doing a great job, and I think like they have faith in him. And I think he's going to get it back.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to get a feud with those two.
Right.
Swagger's pretty much done.
Swagger's buried now.
What?
What's he going to do?
I don't know. Just like if the guy holds it for that long, I'd like to see more of a creative.
Oh, I will tell you what Swagger will do.
Go to jail.
Well, yeah, he will. Well, also he was on Main Event last night.
Oh yeah.
Or on Wednesday. Guess who he wrestled?
I can't remember. I don't know.
Yoshitatsu. It was a great match. Let me tell you.
Oh boy.
Okay, so back to Raw. We're actually, by the way, the camera might stop any minute now, just to warn you. Do you think we should just cut it off and just restart?
Off, yeah.
Alright, so we'll be right back. It's going to be the same video, but we'll be right back, and we will resume our Raw recap. Okay, so continuing on with our Raw recap here, we've got The Undertaker coming out, literally says like 3 words about how he was dedicating his match at WrestleMania to Paul Bearer. The Shield interrupts him. And they had all previously in the night, I guess, made an announcement on Twitter or something that they were going to make history on Raw. Yeah, okay, I'm sure the Shield really uses Twitter. So they come out, and they're going to attack Undertaker, which prompts Daniel Bryan and Kane to come out and basically team up with Undertaker, and the Shield changes their mind and leaves.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun stuff. People got real excited.
Well, it's cool, but it's just annoying because the Undertaker's not going to wrestle again.
Maybe he will. I don't know.
You think he's going to wrestle again?
Well, if he's in a tag match, he doesn't have to do a lot. He'll just,
That'd be nuts because he hasn't done that in years. You know?
Hey,
I couldn't see him doing it, but
Daniel
maybe
Bryan he'll be the one that gets pinned. They'll take the beating. Kane will do his crap, and then Undertaker will do like a few punches, and they'll sell the pay-per-view if they do it.
That will.
Doesn't have to do that much.
That would. I mean, that would basically make, what is it, Backlash?
No, Extreme Rules.
Extreme Rules, whatever the next one is, that would probably sell a lot if the Undertaker was on the card. Mm-hmm. So, okay. Zack Ryder, R-Truth, and Santino Marella defeat three-man band.
I don't know why that was on.
I don't know why it was on the show, because the show's 3 hours long now. That's why.
And they held off like they didn't have Punk on the show, and he was there just because the crowd would cheer him, and they didn't want that.
Right.
And it's kind of sad, because people going to that show, they probably paid to see Rock, or paid to see Punk, and those guys weren't there, so. Right.
No Rock, no Punk, no Brock.
Yeah,
all three of them.
Those probably guys that people go, I'm going to pay my money to go see this, And
yep, and they weren't there.
there.
Okay. Now this is a weird storyline that they went with. So both Randy Orton and Sheamus are pissed off that they lost at WrestleMania. So they both want to fight the Big Show. But wasn't Randy Orton the one who got pinned? So why are they mad at the Big Show?
Because he didn't help Randy.
Well, Randy was the one who tagged himself in and lost the match.
Yeah, but he expected.
So why are they mad at the Big Show?
He expected Big Show to bring up the tag or something.
It doesn't make sense.
And why are they acting like Big Show's a face that turned heel now?
Right.
When he was a heel.
He was a heel the whole time. Right.
But they're acting like, why did you turn on your partner?
The great hero Big Show has.
I don't know, because I've been a heel for 2 years. How about that?
So they both want Big Show. They both get promised matches, but then they realize that they can't both wrestle him. So it's announced they're going to wrestle each other, and the winner will then wrestle Big Show.
Yeah. So people lost their minds.
So the crowd, we have to mention this, the crowd was hot all night because it was this international post-WrestleMania crowd. The crowd during this match officially just didn't give two shits, okay?
Yeah, they lost their minds.
They cheered about every possible thing you could think of besides the match, okay? First they cheered boring because they didn't like the match. Then they started cheering for RVD,
Macho Man,
JBL, Michael Cole, Macho Man,
Ice Cream or something, and
yeah, and then they were saying we're awesome.
Cotton Candy, I think.
Cotton Candy when the vendor came around.
Oh, We Are Awesome was pretty stupid.
We Are Awesome. They're sucking their own dicks.
Yeah, that's kind of lame.
It was just like every cheer you could think of, and then finally Big Show comes out, interferes with the match, so there's no winner. And then they cheer, "Thank you, Big Show, for ending the match," because they hated the match so much. Now, this is funny, because these are supposed to be two top faces in the company.
Yeah.
WWE pushes the hell out of them. The crowd didn't give a fuck, okay? And I'll be honest with everyone, I didn't like the match either. I thought the match was terrible. I thought that it's exposing the fact that these two guys can put on good matches when they're with good talent. But when they were put in that ring with each other, that match sucked. It was slow, it was boring. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, especially people saying that the fans are being disrespectful, but I think, if it's like one or two people doing it,
right,
then it's disrespectful. Like, for instance, at Ring of Honor, there was one idiot that was yelling stupid shit. He was yelling Yokozuna,
right,
just trying to get himself over. And the rest of the audience turned on that dude, like, shut the hell up, dude, So, if it's one or two people, then you're being a dick.
Right,
but if the whole place is doing
crowd's bored and doing it,
then you're sending a message about
the product.
We
don't want to see this match. I mean, honestly, Sheamus, is he a good wrestler? I like what he can do when he's with the right opponent. I don't think, same thing with Randy Orton. He's got his pattern that he wrestles. It could be good with the right person, but when you put those kind of people together, now it exposes all their weaknesses, and I think that's exactly what happened on Raw.
Yeah, the thing that stays out to me, though, I'm going to go in like a different direction with it, though. It's not even like what happened there. It's just like the state of wrestling, where the biggest story after WrestleMania and Raw and all the stuff that happened, the biggest thing that people want to talk about, did you hear the crowd?
Right.
Things they were saying?
Right.
They were cheering for Cotton Candy. That's the biggest story, because nothing else that happened is really interesting at all.
Right. Yep.
And that's the saddest part about it.
Yeah.
Not like what they did or anything like that. That the overall like wrestling world is focusing on like that's the biggest thing.
The crowd.
You know what the crowd did? Not like this happened, this title or this match.
Right. Right. Yeah, you're right.
And that's a telling thing.
Okay, so up next we have Fandango wrestling Kofi Kingston, but he wins when Chris Jericho attacks him. Okay.
And then he did his he got the crap beat out of him.
Yeah.
And the announcer says his name, and then he's like barely able to speak, and then he says, "No, this is pronounced." And that was pretty good. I like that a lot.
Hey, Tons of Funk have their match that got cut from WrestleMania. Does anyone care? No. Nobody cares.
It's funny at WrestleMania because we were, after every match, we kept saying, "Brodus, here comes Brodus."
Right. Here he comes. Brodus Clay coming out.
When they had Cena come out, like, "No, Brodus is supposed to be here."
No, it's Brodus. We want Brodus.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So, they have their match. No one cares. Big deal. And then, of course, the main event. John Cena.
Just a weird, like, what was it, a count out or something?
A count out victory against Mark Henry. Again, very heelish. Like he was playing the heel tonight, you know? So he can't beat Mark Henry. He has to get counted out. And then after that, all of a sudden, Ryback hits the ring, attacks Cena, puts him in the shell shock, and then poses with the title.
Yeah.
So, Ryback,
the crowd popped huge because Ryback attacked him. They were so happy.
Right. Because they hate Cena.
Yeah, so now Ryback versus John Cena. The guys that had the 2 worst matches at WrestleMania get to main event the next pay-per-view.
Isn't that great?
It'll be $50, please.
$50 for that. That's why I think they need the Undertaker on the next card, quite honestly. So.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Alright, so that was it for Raw.
You can always use a little Undertaker on your card.
On main event, it was interesting because like I said, they had a couple matches actually going down. They had the Super Jack Swagger Jobber match with Yoshitatsu. They actually had another Tons of Funk match, which was awful. And then they had, that's what it was. It was Tons of Funk and Kofi Kingston against The Shield. And The Shield won, again, clean. They destroyed them. They beat the shit. Basically, they won. They focused on one guy. They had Tensai. They beat the shit out of him. Then Kofi was in there. They would beat the shit out of him.
How could you beat the shit out of Tensai?
And freaking Roman Reigns actually speared Brodus and beat it was a wicked fucking spear. Like, he hit him so hard, and Brodus is a big dude, and he just went down. I was like, oh man, that was good. Like, he sold it so well. So the Shield went over clean again, and then after the match, they triple powerbombed Brodus Clay, which was pretty good. They're like, fuck this guy. Boom! Took him out. So the Shield looking very strong. Now, I don't know what's going to happen on SmackDown tonight. I don't read spoilers like John. So, I guess we'll have to see what happens.
There's no way in hell that I'd be able to put myself through it after all the stuff I saw this week. But I did see what happens. And looks like it's an okay show.
All right.
Ziggler defends the title, or he has a match.
I don't even
know if it was the title or not.
Okay. Now, I know this is a long, smart guys. You got to bear with us because this is a very important week, obviously. Impact this week. Also, realizing that they had to have a strong week because WWE has their biggest week of the year. 2 title matches. First, they had to open the show. Tag title defense. Bobby Roode and Austin Aries defending their titles against Chavo and Hernandez. And the stipulation is, if Chavo and Hernandez lose, they can never tag again.
I thought they were going to lose.
I thought they were going to lose too. But they win.
They somehow won.
It was a pretty good match, some good spots. Hernandez doing some crazy flying stuff like he always does. It actually ends where Hernandez double suplexes Bobby Roode and Aries, and then freaking Chavo comes off doing a frog splash, and you couldn't tell who he was going to do it to. It was crazy. I thought he was going to maybe try to hit them both, but he hits Bobby and he gets the pin. So they retain, or they regain their tag titles.
I want to see Bad Influence get it back.
Yeah, they haven't been doing anything.
They gotta get it back.
They weren't even on the show. Like, they have nothing to do now.
Well, they got beat up by Aces and Eights or something, I think, right? With them AJ Styles. Oh
no, that was a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, they weren't even on this week.
Yeah. All right.
AJ's still teasing whether or not he's going to join Aces and Eights.
AJ's doing his Sting, his old Sting character.
Yeah.
He's in between the 2 groups.
The tweener, yep. I'm trying to remember if anything else notable happened. There was another gut check. Where was that guy Pierce?
Adam Pierce is really he's been around a long time. He was a Ring of Honor writer for a while, like the booker. He was NWA champion multiple times, and they don't talk about any of that. They just go, "Oh yeah, he never had a chance."
Right. So he never had a chance.
He never did anything for 17 years. And what they say, it seems like they're doing an angle maybe.
I don't know. They got rid of him.
They rejected him.
Yeah, they rejected him, and he was pissed.
You gotta think it's an angle. It's like he's so good that that'd be kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with him. They did more stupid Taryn Terrell's a wrestler now nonsense. Who cares? A couple other quick singles. And, of course, the main event. The main event, Jeff Hardy, Bully Ray, Full Metal Mayhem for the title.
Jeff Hardy.
And Bully Ray went to Aces and Eights and said he wanted no interference in this match. He had to prove to himself that he could win without having them constantly interfere. Okay, the match was amazing. Okay, for an Impact level match, the match was really good. Crazy spots, everyone coming out, hitting each other with chairs, going through tables. It was hilarious. At one point, there was a table. He was going to try to do a spot, and the whole table just collapsed in front of him before he even did anything. It was so fucking silly. He was like, oh, the whole thing was like, what the hell? Like, the thing was split right down the middle.
Yeah, they do that now.
Did a crazy spot where he Bully turned a ladder upside down and suplexed Jeff into it, and Jeff's leg got caught up in the metal support of the ladder, fucked up his leg, and you could tell it was really hurt because he was limping for the rest of the match. Finally, the match comes to a close where they're both going up for this title. Okay, it's suspended. It's like a tables, ladders, and chairs match basically. That's Full Metal Mayhem and TNA.
Full Metal Mayhem.
So they're both going to go for the title. Jeff is climbing the ladder. Bully Ray's outside the ring next to the announce table, and Taz takes a hammer like out of his ass, like literally. Oh, what's this? Oh, and he like pulls it out. And just puts it down on the table.
At least Taz is doing something.
And like turns away. It's like he doesn't know what's going on. And Bully Ray walks up, grabs the hammer, walks right up the ladder, bonk, hits Jeff Hardy right in the face, grabs the title. Bully Ray retains.
Yeah, at least Taz is like part of the group a little bit. It seems like he just thinks he is.
Right.
He's like a commentary.
Right.
Like acknowledge him.
Right.
But that's how they're rolling it.
So it is what it is. It was a good Impact, a solid Impact. I definitely enjoyed it. I think that if they could keep rolling with that, they could build some momentum. But I really feel that every week it's just going to be more Aces and Eights attacking everyone like usual.
It's gonna be slow. I think in the end we're gonna get that EJ Bully showdown. I think it's gonna be really good.
Right.
I have more excitement for them than the WWE right now. Because Bully is a champion. Mm-hmm. And some of the guys they have is much more exciting than the same old thing.
Yeah.
Cena and whatever. So.
Cena back on top. Yeah. And now Cena was a heel for one night, immediately gets flipped when Ryback attacks him at the end of the night. So next week, Ryback will be the heel and Cena will be the face. No, even though everyone will cheer for Ryback, Ryback will be the heel.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing about it. Like how badly he was booed at WrestleMania. We saw it in person.
Right.
And how badly he's booed at so many of these places he goes.
He doesn't get cheers anymore. It's all boos.
It's just all boos, but that's what they want to do, and that's what they do.
It sells merch. All they care about is merch. We talked about this, months ago. WWE is not a wrestling company anymore. They are a merchandise company.
It's a bizarre, like, sideshow thing.
Yeah. They care about entertainment and merchandise. They don't care about wrestling. It's entertainment and merchandise. So if Cena will sell merchandise, he will be the top of the company. Even if no one who likes wrestling likes him, he will be the top guy.
That's a great point, because I think all those fans on Raw, they show up, they go, we're going to show them tonight. But you don't affect anything whatsoever.
Right.
You paid them, and they laugh. Vince goes,
sold out the arena.
Oh, these freaking marks, whatever. I took the money, and here we go to the next place.
Right.
He doesn't care. He's not going to listen to. Ziggler got a huge, ovation. Do you think it's going to matter with his push or not?
Right.
Or Cena's going to get, doing something different because he's booed. It doesn't matter. If you don't hate it, just don't go.
Right.
Don't watch it and don't go is the best thing you can do.
Don't support it. Yeah.
You don't affect any kind of change whatsoever,
All right, so that is it for Smark Guys this week. Sorry it was such a long one. I know, a lot to talk about. We're coming off of WrestleMania and all that. Next week is going to be a bye week. I'm going to be busy, so I don't know if you're going to be doing your smorgasbord.
Yeah, I guess I will. I'd like you guys to check it out. It's at John Rambo Presents. It's the channel that Smart Guys was on it at one point.
Right.
So don't tell me you don't know where it is, because I know you've been there.
Where's the show?
I know you've been there before. I've seen you there. So, check it out. And we do a lot of stuff there. We do some comments and questions. We also take some calls, too. We talk about all kinds of stuff. We'll probably go into Ring of Honor and some other stuff we'd always get to here. So if you have some time, check it out. It'll be Saturday.
Okay, cool.
I don't know what time, but it'll be on YouTube, so you can watch it there.
Very good.
Okay.
All right, and then we'll be back in 2 weeks, where we'll be recapping, what's been going on for those 2 weeks in wrestling, and it should be interesting to see now what WWE does with these angles that they're trying to set up post WrestleMania in the next 2 weeks. So. And let's be honest, John, with all the wrestling that we just did in the past week, maybe it is time to, take another break. It probably makes sense.
I was playing this week, but I still watched a lot. Hey, man, at the end of the day, we're fans of it, so.
It's true.
Complain a lot about it because we want to see it do
We want to see better. We know they could do better because they have done better.
And honestly, I just get annoyed with things.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you about it.
All right, everyone. So thanks for tuning in to Smart Guys this week. We'll see you in 2, or you can see John in 1 with his Smorgasbord show on John Rambo Presents. Thanks a lot. Peace out. See you later.